Select a landing heading to Mother Base.
Salutations, happy birthday, may your sky stay blue. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boss. Happy birthday, Snake. Happy birthday, boss.
Many happy returns, boss.
Boss, welcome home. Stay with me, boss. How about it?
Boss, if you need combat support, just let us know.
Roger. This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
select a landing heading to Central Africa. Please specify a project. Please select a landing zone. Heading to Afghanistan.
Boss, we've gone over the prisoner transport log you found. Quiet was grabbed by the Soviets and moved to Lamar Khatte Palace. They lost a lot of men to her. Can't blame them for wanting payback. But why did she just let herself get captured?
I think it is time you knew. Quiet was carrying vocal cord parasites. The English strain, to be precise. The third English pair. Skullface was using her as a vector. An ace in the hole if his assassination plan failed. I knew it, but Quiet chose not to speak. She told me the situation in Dene, Navajo, the only language to which the parasites do not react. If you found out, she could not among you. And yet, she refused the Wolbachia treatment. Why? Because part of her still wanted revenge. Against you. Revenge against the boss. In order to stay here, she took a vow of eternal silence. But then, that sudden mutation showed this was not enough. As long as the parasites were inside her, she could not predict what might happen.
And that's why she took off? Sacrificing herself to make sure the English strain died with her?
Maybe. Or maybe she only wants to infect the world. Whatever her plan, we can't let her go free. The vocal cord parasites are the last of Skullface's legacy. It's up to us to erase it. Boss, the targets are Quiet and the English strain she's carrying. Your objective is to extract her. But if worst comes to worst, she may have to be eliminated. Both her and the parasites.
We don't know for sure what Quiet's up to, but we need to secure her ASAP. She's being held at Lamar Khatte Palace. Make your way there. The R&D team's going to take over Emmerich's work. He may be gone, but it won't affect us one bit. We'll be able to deliver whatever you need just like before. You can depend on that. One other thing. I'm tracking his whereabouts. Nothing to report at the moment, though.
Let it go. He's gone. The guy's gone.
I know. I just want to be sure. Not like I'm losing sleep over this son of a bitch.
Open this thing! Huey! Damn it, Huey! Open it now! Please! Let me out! Kill me! If only I'd tried to get out sooner. Perhaps I'd have made it. Why didn't I stop the hatch from closing? Even if it meant losing an arm. son. Stay well. My voice. So distant. But you can hear me, can't you, Joy? I know you can. You're recording all of this. Deep down, in some you'll find duplicating it, burying it under heaps of meaningless code. Anyway, I guess I can say what needs to be said. I can still do that much. Talk to you. Even if I can't face you. Even if there's a heaven. Even if you're waiting there. I don't deserve to see you again. I don't deserve to love you. I signed up for Zero's plan. Even now that he's halfway to dead, his plan lives on. Paul, and it took your strength to make it happen. And using you, I put the world in his palm. Once and for all. Zero, or whoever it is who's taken his name. They found me after the Caribbean. They made me simulate his will, so that even after the body was gone, that will would keep the world turning the way they wanted. I had no choice. They dredged Largo Corsi pulled up your phantom, forced me to revive and modify you. I thought I could bring you back, but in the end, I sold your will to him. Now this part is just one big shell. A husk. Your phantom's no longer here. As for me, everything I touch turns to ashes. I could never make anyone happy. And now I'll never see my son again. But at least Hal's free from his father's hands. Me, with child. Can you imagine? I wonder how you took the news. Were you jealous? I knew what I was doing. If I could pass your will onto a child I carried, My genes. Your beam. The father would be irrelevant. If I did that, that child would be ours. I've been a fool. Pride, conceit, baseless theories. Of course, I couldn't see through the dream. The false you I created. I only wanted to pass your will on to the next generation. Zero took it away. And now I haven't just lost you. I've lost her. Oh, Hal, can you forgive the mother who couldn't protect you? The one who let them take all away from us. Oh.
If you need to pass the time, go ahead and smoke that cigar of yours.
There's still hope. You, the one he took away. He'll never break your will. The will to make this world the way you saw it could be. I buried code, just to be sure. Inside of you, there is an egg. And when someone finds it, when they crack it, there'll be nothing left to stop you. The world you envisioned will become a reality. I know you can hear me. You do remember my voice, don't you? Please. Take care of yourself.
You have arrived at your destination.
Never be afraid. She'll be watching over you.
At Motorbase.
The system, the framework for the world will protect you. You don't need me. You just need to be strong enough.
КП-26! Мы осмотрели сектор и ничего не нашли. Отзываем поиск. Прием! Это КП. Понял. Будьте наготове. КП, это зоне 10. Слышу стрельбу! Засек направление! Жду расположения! Прием! Это КП. Понял. Будьте начеку. Выгрузите врага. Конец связи.
I think I hear
КП-106. Поиски закончены. Противник не обнаружен. Прием! Это КП. Понял. Не расслабляйтесь. Они еще могут быть рядом. Конец связи.
Go!
I did not choose to be quiet. I wanted to express my feelings to you. If only we shared a common tongue. Vengeance was what drove me to them. The only language left to me, revenge. But the words we shared, no, that was no language at all. That is why I chose the language of gratitude instead, and go back to silence. I am quiet. I am the absence of words.
You mentioned that what language the parasites respond. About this OKB-0 Emmerich was talking about. Its location and features match the citadel in the mountains northeast of the Soviet base camp. Built during the time of Alexander the Great, it was left in ruins following one of Genghis Khan's campaigns. Its occupants changed time and again due to war, and it was expanded on more than one occasion. Ultimately, it fell into the hands of the Soviet philosophers. The Soviet army was using it as the headquarters of its Afghan invasion force. But it would seem that Skullface's connection with the philosophers gave him license to develop Sahelanthropus there. And that's what Emmerich was doing at the place, before he got the axe. But OKB is a designation the Soviets use for weapon design bureaus. There's no way they'd have one of those in Afghanistan. And, in principle, the numbers that follow OKB are always integers above 1. There is no 0. Perhaps this was a secret facility of the Soviet and Chinese philosophers dating back prior to World War II. Though it's more likely Skullface just picked a fake name that more or less fit the Soviets' pattern. He doesn't go there often, but he sure as hell won't miss this. They use the heliport on top of the tower for his visits. Start by heading for the heliport. Then wait for your chance to make contact with Skullface.
It seems Sahelanthropus' armor is made from depleted uranium. That offers some serious protection. The U.S. military is planning on using it for its main battle tanks, too. Maybe that's where Emmerich got the technology.
Uranium? They're using nuclear fuel for armor now?
No. What they use for nuclear fuel is uranium-235, which is extracted from natural uranium. Depleted uranium is a byproduct of that process. Sort of like the leftovers, I guess. The garbage. Uranium-235 makes up 0.72% of natural uranium, whereas depleted uranium contains only 0.2%.
What are the benefits of using it for armor?
It's a pretty short list. Uranium's a heavy metal, like lead, meaning it can hold a greater amount of kinetic energy. But it also boasts a hardness closer to tungsten. That makes it an ideal material to use for, say, armor-piercing ammunition penetrators. But it's not the best choice for armor. Its volume is less than that of ceramics, but for an equal weight, you could end up with less protection.
So why use it then?
According to Emmerich, it came down to him being unable to source ceramics technology from a manufacturer. Plus, given that it's an upright walking vehicle, he wanted to reduce the bulk of certain areas. Despite all that, depleted uranium still makes for some tough armor. And Emmerich says it's been proven in live fire tests. It stops most Soviet tank shells. Emmerich didn't go with depleted uranium for Sahelanthropus' armor because of its strength.
He had nukes in mind.
Exactly. It's meant to use its body as the fuel component for a nuclear weapon.
Sahelanthropus uses built-in uranium enrichment archaea to melt its own body and extract uranium-235 from the depleted uranium in its armor. Those archaea perform the enrichment in an extremely short time. The concentration jumps by a factor of several hundred, from 0.2% to over 90%. The end result being highly enriched weapons-grade uranium. Sahelanthropus's body itself becomes a nuclear bomb. Emmerich says if it were to self-destruct, the nuclear yield would be somewhere in the region of 15 kilotons. Since you need about 50 kilograms of highly enriched uranium to trigger a nuclear reaction, that would mean Sahelanthropus contains something like 23 tons of depleted uranium.
That's not very much.
No, it isn't. That's about what you'd expect to find in a main battle tank's armor. The point is, it can be transported anywhere, even use its conventional weaponry on the battlefield, and the international community will never suspect a thing. I just received word from the R&D team and the transport team out of Afghanistan. They finished installing Sahelanthropus on the base. It's ours now.
All right. Don't let any of the staff touch that thing. Especially Emmerich.
Of course. That guy's crush on Sahelanthropus is beyond a joke. Guess he really wants to see his tech stand on its own two legs this time.
That's not gonna happen.
I know it. So you've got no plans to make it operational again?
Damn right.
Boss, I want to hear it straight from you.
Hear what?
What the hell do you want with that thing? The drive is busted. It's not like it has a nuke on board. Even if the metallic archaea could turn it into a nuclear weapon, all it can do is self-destruct. Sahelanthropus just isn't a weapon anymore. It'll draw unwanted attention without even being a deterrent.
I know.
The weapon's development strut sank 2 feet under that thing's weight. That's 1 year's drop in a single night. We've started on reinforcing the strut, but there's no guarantee it'll hold up if a storm hits.
I know that too.
Boss, why keep it?
It's a mark. Us Diamond Dogs, we don't have a country to call home. That means we have no past, nothing to prove that we lived. Every one of us threw it all away when we came here. Sahelanthropus is a symbol to show that the likes of us brought at least one crisis to its end.
A mark in history. So we can't just fade away.
It's of no practical use to us. But we still need it.
A symbol of what we've done. I'm glad I sounded you out on this. Snake, on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you.
I don't need gratitude. I need security. Keep Emmerich away from that thing.
Roger that.
Analysis complete.
That's the target.
Analysis complete.
Нет, не делай этого!
Lie down. Okay.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Extraction arrived in the place. You have arrived at your destination.
do. Roger that.
Analysis complete. Marker placed.
Эй, смотри!
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Marker placed. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Положи! Не стреляй!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Extract him.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Hands up.
Подожди! Не стреляй!
Speak.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Я не хочу умирать!
У нас проблема. Тревога по всем постам.
He's incoming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete. Marker placed. Analysis complete.
Поиски закончены. Противник нет. Прием. ЛКП, понял. Будьте наготове. Конец связи.
You gotta extract him.
Какого? Не шевелись!
Kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh?
Get down.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Where are the others?
The map has been
Kept you
updated.
waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh? You're pretty good.
Как ты в порядке? Эй, смотри.
Kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh? You're pretty good. Kept you waiting, huh? You're pretty good. Kept you waiting, huh? You're pretty good.
Get up! Черт, меня разыграл!
You're pretty good.
Какого?
You're pretty good. You're pretty good. You're pretty good. You're pretty good. Pretty good.
Замри!
You're pretty good.
Черт, меня разыграл! Не хотел этого!
Outpost captured. Jet approaching.
Проваливай! Проваливай! Проваливай!
Sun will rise momentarily.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Проваливай!
Kept you waiting, huh?
Черт!
Kept you waiting,
Забри!
huh? Kept you waiting, huh?
Смеяться надо! Shit.
Капец, СОС-7! Обнаруженная угроза! Всем быть начеку! Прием! Это КП, понял. Ищите подозрительные. Конец связи.
Проверить. Пойдем. Понял. Проверить. Пойдем.
Caution. Sandstorm approaching. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Support helicopter requested.
subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone. Heading to Mother Base.
So, Tucker, what are the metallic archaea?
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur. Water hot enough to boil your skin off. Ocean depths of 800 plus atmospheres. Wastelands radioactive enough to kill you where you stand. There are groups of organisms that survive despite. No, because of living in such environments.
I've heard about them. Extremo... something.
Extremophiles. By selecting certain species, then subculturing and repeatedly modifying them, I created a metallic offspring of pure archaea. They subsist on metals rather than organic matter.
And some of them even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, they produce weapons-grade enriched uranium.
How is that possible?
Consider how plants fractionate carbon isotopes when they conduct photosynthesis. Nature